Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another day in my life college edition video. Super low-key day, but I wanted to take you guys along with me. So I just got back from class and from work today, so it's about 3:30 now. It kind of takes up the majority of my day, but I feel like it's like the first half of my day, and then this back half is kind of what I choose to do with my day, if that makes sense. So I just like changed out of my uniform and threw on this sweater. I feel like I always vlog in this sweater. Like granted, I do wear it a lot. I like am open about that. But I feel like I just like particularly wear it a lot in videos. But like I was saying, I'm about to head over to our coffee shop on campus to grab a quick cup of coffee. I haven't had any today. I'm definitely a midday slump kind of coffee person. I feel like, and a lot of my friends and family don't know that about me. Like if I'm like in the car with like one of my parents in the morning, they'll be like, oh, do you want to stop and get like Dunkin' or Starbucks or something? But I don't really like having coffee in the morning. Like there's always exceptions, I guess, because I feel like it makes me really jittery throughout the day, where I'd rather have it at like 2 or 3, even like 4, honestly, to kind of like get a second wind for the rest of the day, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go head over to grab some coffee, and then I will come back here. My room is absolutely trashed, so I need to clean that up and do some other stuff and just kind of catch you guys up. So I am back with coffee in my apartment, and I was planning on doing kind of like a favorites section in this day in my life video to kind of beef it up a little bit, but I realized I have so much that I want to talk about that I think I'm going to film an entire like spring favorites video for this Sunday, because I think that makes more sense. But I did have some makeup that I wanted to share with you guys that I've purchased recently. I essentially ran out of everything at the same time, and I've had to kind of repurchase a lot of makeup in the last couple weeks or so. But this like last week in particular, I've acquired a lot of stuff that I wanted to show you guys. I also decided like 2 days ago that I want to really start taking cruelty-free seriously. I've like tried to eliminate a lot of the products that I use that had brands who weren't cruelty-free, but I had like 1 or 2 that still lingered, and I still do. I have like 1 Benefit product that I repurchased a couple weeks ago. But that's the only thing I've really purchased in a pretty long time that's not cruelty free. But I went through my makeup collection the other day, and I like took out all the products that have companies that do still tests on animals, and I decided that once I finish those products up, because there's really no sense in throwing them out, like that doesn't do any good in my opinion. I like took all of them out, and I researched like dupes or like products that were kind of similar to those, and I decided like I made a list of everything, and I'm not going to be repurchasing them like once I use them up. So all of the items that I'm showing today are cruelty free, or at least like their company is. Some of them have parent companies who test on animals still, but I'm going by like the specific brand. So do your own research if that's something that you're invested in. So the first thing I picked up is this Too Faced Primed and Poreless Primer. It's very similar to the Benefit Professional, which I absolutely love. Benefit does still test on animals, so I've decided to kind of work them out of my collection, which makes me really sad because Benefit is one of my favorite brands, but I've just decided that's not something I can like ethically support. I said a while back that I didn't really like Too Faced because I didn't agree with the brand, and I've gotten a lot of questions about that, and my reasoning for that was because I didn't like the way that the CEO at the time, I'm not sure who's still like operating, but I didn't like a lot of the statements they came out with and the way that they treated some of their customers. I just wasn't a big fan of that. But at the end of the day, like I'd rather have a company be a little bit rude to their customers than test on animals. So that was like my reasoning for going back to Too Faced, if that makes sense. So I have this Primed and Poreless Primer. I really like this. I've used this in the past, so I'm excited to have this. Another thing I picked up from Too Faced is the Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I'm so excited to be using this. I feel like this was such an OG product, and I never had it for some reason. If you're not familiar somehow, it's a bronzer that smells like chocolate. It has cocoa powder in it. The reason I really wanted this is because the color is a little bit lighter and less orange than the Hoola bronzer. I love Hoola bronzer, but 1, it's Benefit, and 2, it's a little dark for me sometimes, so I'm really excited about this. I think it'll be a little bit more neutral and natural on me, so I'm super excited about that, and it smells bomb. The next thing I picked up last week, and it is the Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat Palette, and I love this. I remember when the original Naked Heat palette came out, I really liked it, but I wasn't sure. Like, I knew I wouldn't use it that much, and I didn't need an entire palette worth of warm shadows because it's kind of a trend, and honestly, like, I don't wear a ton of makeup except for like going out, and even when I do go out, it's very like natural compared to like what I would use that palette for. So when I saw that they released this mini palette, I knew I had to get it. I absolutely love it. All of these shadows are matte except for maybe this one has a bit of a sheen to it, but they're just beautiful. They're very wearable. They swatch amazingly. I've used this a couple times as well, and I seriously love it. Sticking with Urban Decay, the next thing I picked up is a new setting spray. I got the mini size just because I had already been spending a lot of money and I just couldn't bring myself to get the full size, but I really love this makeup setting spray. It works so well if you are in college or have a job and you are out and having like long days. Setting spray makes a really big difference, and I love this one. And then the last thing I got in the mail today, and that is a replacement for my Scandinavia Post Makeup Setting Spray. I've talked about this a bunch on my channel, so I won't bore you guys, but essentially this is just a spray you put on after you take off all of your makeup, and it kind of helps to like prevent clogged pores and like cleanse the skin a little bit further, and I absolutely love this. They sent this to me in PR like a year ago. I don't know how they got my address. And ever since I've used that bottle, I think this is the 4th one that I've repurchased. So they definitely made me a customer for life. I could not like live without this in my routine, I don't think. It's a little bit pricey, but I think it's worth it. As you guys can see, it's been quite an expensive week for me here. Sephora and Ulta did me dirty. I also had to buy a new laptop charger yesterday. Mine like finally gave out. It was so torn. I don't know how it lasted that long. I had it like taped in 3 different places and it finally gave out. So I had to run to the Apple store last night and buy a charger, which kind of sucks because they're not cheap. It's like 80 bucks. But luckily I was like able to do that. So anyway, I've been rambling for a really long time. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my room a little bit. I would like show you how bad it is, but it's like honestly embarrassing. So I'm going to clean it up. I'll add some like montages of me cleaning and check in after. So this little section might not look super organized, but there is a method to the madness. If you've seen any of my makeup collections or like makeup decluttering videos, you probably already know the structure of like how I organize my stuff. And that really hasn't changed except for this like top row. So the majority of these products over here are like essentially done. They're just like a little bit left that I'm using up. And then these products I'm just making an effort to use up so I can replace them with cruelty-free items. The only one that I'm for sure repurchasing from this top area, and I guess the only one I'm repurchasing in general from now on, is my Tarte Shape Tape. And I actually have my replacement right here waiting. But every time I think I'm done with it, I'm able to get a little bit more out, and it's expensive, so I'm gonna keep using it. So this is definitely a lot cleaner than it was last night. So now I'm going to tackle the rest of my room. As you can see, it just like got really cluttery really fast. So I'm gonna go ahead and like do laundry and clean this stuff up. So I just made dinner. I made some pasta with tomatoes and broccoli and lemon, as you can see. And I'm just gonna watch some YouTube videos for a little bit before starting homework and all of that kind of stuff. And I'll catch up with you guys after that. So I'm about to run out the door. I have like my laptop and stuff with me. I'm about to go to a meeting. I'll explain more later, but it's basically like a mentorship for communication students with other like women in the field. So I'm really excited. This is like the introduction meeting for it. So fingers crossed it goes well. And then I think I'm gonna stop by my boyfriend's apartment and then go to the art studio to finish up a project. So I'll probably catch up with you guys then.
Something for every need. Stop by and enjoy a 20-ounce Froster frozen beverage for just $99.
I just got back from the art studio. I finished the project that I was working on. It was like a very low-key project, but I wanted to get it done before the weekend so I could just enjoy my time with my friends and stuff like that. but I'm super tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog off here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this quick day in my life video. If you have any comments or questions, suggestions, anything like that, feel free to leave them down below. I love reading through them and responding. All my social media will be linked down below per usual, and I will talk to you guys next time.